much for joining me. Well, I'm excited to share with you the brand new September 2022 release from Pretty Pink Posh. Normally I don't show you the entire release, but I thought it was so amazing that I would share everything that's in the release, and then also we're going to create a project. My project today is for an Instagram hop celebrating the brand new fall release. And so if you're finished here, head on over to Instagram. There's lots of inspiration using some items that are in the brand new release. And so we're going to jump in and get started. I love fall. I love the pumpkin spice and the cinnamons and the leaves changing. I just love it. So we are going to go through everything that's in the release this month. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Pretty Pink Posh actually has a bundle, an entire release bundle. So if you like everything in the release, there's a discounted price on the bundle. And I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But you get everything that I'm going to show you here today in the bundle. Now, I'll start with the stamp sets because they're pretty neat. There is I'm going to bring in some cardstock, darker cardstock anyway. And we're going to zoom in a little bit. That way you can see the items more clearer. But this is a 3x4 stamp set that's called Potted Sunflowers. So cute. Love sunflowers. I like sunflowers all year round, only because I live in the sunflower state of Kansas, and so I'm partial to them. But this does have a coordinating die set, which is pretty cute. Now there's also a brand new wreath. This is the Autumn Leaf Wreath, and you get the beautiful wreath that has a whole bunch of different leaves in there, and then you also get some larger leaves in the stamp set. I'm going to keep it down here so we don't get the glare. But they're nice for all different kinds of card projects. You get the large fall that does have a coordinating die, and then you get secondary sentiments. You get greetings and blessings, and then there's also a happy Thanksgiving. So that is the Autumn Leaf Wreath Circle. So fun. Okay, last month there was a brand new envelope stamp set called, I believe it was called Halloween envelopes, not sure. It was so popular that Pretty Pink Posh brought in a fall envelope. That's what the name of the stamp set, fall envelopes. And there is some sunflowers coming out of this one, and then there's some fall foliage coming out of this one. And then you get 3 sentiments. Happy fall, many thanks, with gratitude. And what I love is you get a banner that will cut out those sentiments. I love banners anyway, so this is great for lots of different sentiments. There's some little accent pieces in here, like a sunflower, a foliage, an acorn, and some fall leaves. So that is the fall envelopes stamp set. These are 4x6s. There is another border that is so pretty. I love the pumpkins in here. I think these are going to be fantastic to color in. But you get pumpkins. This is the fall borders stamp set. You get pumpkins, fall leaves and berries with acorns, and then this is just all fall leaves. And then there is a coordinating die set that will die cut out your borders if you like layering. There's also a cute little mice stamp set, which I just think is super fun. I love that they're not holding anything, but you can make them hold things. There's a flower, cheese, strawberries. I love the grapes. I think the grapes are just adorable. And then a little leaf foliage over here. Hello friend, you're special, and just a little note are the sentiments in this stamp set. And then there is a coordinating die set for this. Okay, now we're done with the stamp sets that are brand new this month, but we have some script dies, and there's 3 of them. You have Give Thanks script, and then you have Grateful script. We're going to be using Grateful on our card today. So there is our brand new script. Sentiment dies. Love these, and I love the scripty font of them. I'm going to keep this one out here. There are some standalone dies that are pretty fabulous, I have to say. There is the Fall Tree die set. This has some pretty different shaped fall leaves that you can adorn as many as you want on the trunk of the tree base. Or if you just want to use this for some Halloween cards and make it a spooky tree, you could leave out the leaves and just use the tree trunk. Or Valentine's Day, break out your heart punches and you can put hearts all around the tree. That would be adorable. So that is new, along with the fall basket die set. This is a larger die set, but there's everything fall in here. You get fall foliage. You even get a little wheat sprig, which is really nice. There's this little gourd. I'm calling it a gourd, but for me, it looks like an eggplant. I just love this because I may create a card using the eggplant because I think the purple with the brown tones for fall is going to be fabulous. There's acorns and mushrooms. There's pumpkins, 2 different sizes of pumpkins, and they all have stitch detail, which is so nice. And there's a couple shapes of apples also. So that's a new die set this month. Okay, I'm going to just speed it around because we have our stencils and we need to make a card. There's lots of stencils. There's 4 brand new stencils and each of them have different layers. This is one layer and this is called the falling, when I get this right, this is the falling branches stencil. I think this creates some real organic and pretty backgrounds for some cards. So this is brand new and it's just stunning. And then I already took them out of the package because I wanted to show you the layers. This one is called the Layered Foliage. It's a 2-piece stencil set. And of course you get the leaves here and then you get the stem and the vines that go with it. So that is your falling or layered foliage stencil set. Really nice. Now that was 2-piece. Now we're going to go in with a 3-piece stencil set. And this is great for fall because you can create green apples or red apples or 2-toned apples, which is real nice, but this is great for our teachers too. This is a 3-piece set called the Layered Apples. And of course you get just the apple base, you get the apple stems, and then you also get the leaves, which could be used on their own, which I think is pretty neat too. So this is a 3-piece Layered Apples stencil set. And then last but not least is a 4-piece stencil set, and this is the one we're going to use in our project today. So it stuck to my package because I already put pixie spray behind here. I was kind of I didn't want the video to run too long because I wanted you to head on over to Instagram. So pixie spray is already behind here, but this is 4-piece and it's called the Layered Sunflowers. Love this so much. I think it's pretty fabulous. There's 2 different sizes of sunflowers in here. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is smaller and this is larger. And you get layer 1. And then you get the second layer that when you layer these 2 together, you can see how they offset to create that round sunflower. These are great on their own also, which I love. Actually, the whole set, or actually everything but the leaves. Then you get, this is the layer, they're all indexed too. So it has A, B, and this is C. This could be a cute little snowball stencil. I always looking for alternative uses. But this is the flower center. But you can see the different sizes of flower centers. And then lastly, you get the leaves. And this might be a stretch, but you could probably use these for some spooky eyes for Halloween. I don't know. But this is the leaf that will go with our sunflower. So this is the 4-piece stencil set. And before I start stenciling, I'm going to put these off to the side. And I want to show you some brand new pearls that are just beautiful. They're nice regal colors. And there's 5 of them in this month's release. And if you get the bundle, the pearls are with it too. How awesome is that? Aren't these pretty regal colors? Okay, you get the blue. It's kind of a tealy, smoky tealy blue. It's called Pacific Blue. The orange is beautiful, called Sunset Orange. We have a nice avocado-y or sage-colored pearl. And all of these have an iridescent hue to them. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not. But there's a little bit of an iridescent to it. So it'll probably pick up some colors in your projects, which is really nice. Not pick up, but accent them. This is called pistachio pearls. This is called plum, which is beautiful. And then you also get this real pretty color, and this is platinum. So those are some brand new pearls. And the Pretty Pink Posh September release. So that is the entire release. I hope I didn't go through it too fast, but I'm going to put this aside and let's do some stenciling with our Layered Sunflower Stencil Set. I'm going to put the rest of this off to the side. My card today is going to be pretty quick, but I do want to share some inspiration. So when we have a layering stencil, for me it's easier to use a 6x6 piece of cardstock. So that's what we're going to start off with. And we're going to grab our very first stencil. I like to make sure that my index is on the very bottom and then put it in the corner. And this just makes it easier for layering the rest of them because you can line them up perfectly. You don't have to shift. It just makes it really easy for mass producing too. Now that I have my first layer in here, I'm going to grab my craft mat so I don't go over. And then first layer, I'm going to bring in a warm yellow. This is scattered straw. And I'm going to use my blending tool and just go over it. Okay, I have scattered straw. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I like to wipe my stencil while it's on my cardstock. For me, it's just easier. Okay, now we have to do, now isn't that, this is pretty on its own. Look how pretty this is. Okay, now we're going to take our second layer, which is layer B. And since it is a 6x6 panel, we just line it up. And we don't even have to figure out our placement. The only placement you have to figure out with a 6x6 piece of cardstock is the corner, which makes it nice. Now I'm going to bring in fossilized amber. And for this I'll also use my blending tool. Okay, we have fossilized amber over our second layer. Now again, I'm going to just use my towel and wipe off my ink from my stencil. I can already see the circle layer of it. I think it's gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. Okay, before we remove it, I just gave you a sneak peek. I want to add a little bit of orange to my sunflower. And the orange that I'm going to add is Rusty Hinge. It's a brownie orange. I think it's going to go perfect for a fall card. Instead of using my blending tool for my my inking, I'm going to use my finger dauber. Now what this is going to do, I'm going to pick up a little bit of ink, and you see how the centers of the stencil are solid. I'm going to put it in the middle and just add a little bit of color to the inside edges of this. Just basically we're adding a little bit of color, but not too much. Okay. Then we'll clean this one off. This just, to me, adds a little bit of warmth to my sunflower. Oops, I'm going to add a little more down here on this corner one. Okay, now we get to see the beautiful sunflowers. See that just a little hint of orange does so much. Okay, now we're going to go to layer C. And that is our flower centers. For my flower centers, we're going to use brushed corduroy and ground espresso. So we'll take our brushed corduroy, and I'm going to go over our first layer. And then I'm going to do a little bit of accent shading. And then using my finger dauber, I'm going to leave my stencil on here. And then I'm going to take my ground espresso, it's a really dark brown. And I'm going to add like a crescent shape to each one of these circles. Let me zoom in for you. And this is going to give my flower centers some dimension. Okay, I added a little bit of ground espresso, and then we'll go ahead and we'll wipe off our stencil. And you can see just that shading, it does cause a little bit of dimension to each one of those. And I have some pretty inky fingers here. And then we can remove that layer. Aren't they so fun? I just love this. Okay, now we're going to take our last layer, which is our leaves. We'll put it in the corner. And again, you don't have to fuss with placement. All of your sunflowers should be covered. And then we're going to go in. I want to go outside the color realm. Instead of doing green leaves, I want to do teal leaves. So I have two different shades. I have Salvage Patina and Peacock Feathers. And I have a little bit of Rustic Wilderness. I may use this on just the edges. So we're going to start with our Salvage Patina, and we're going to go over all of our leaves. I thought teals and browns look so pretty together. And sometimes just going outside to traditional colors is nice. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now we get to do our beautiful reveal. Isn't that just gorgeous? I just love this. Okay, that is our background. Now I love that we can create a full background panel, and also if we turn it this way, I think I can get a couple of full flowers because I want to fussy cut out a couple full flowers for my card. So I'm going to trim this down to an A2 panel and fussy cut out a large and small flower. Okay, I went ahead and trimmed down my panel, and I decided instead of going card front 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, I went a little bit less than that. So I have a little bit of a border when I put this on my card base. I want some white showing. Now, and I do have a couple extra left over. If you want to fussy cut those out and put them on the inside of the card, that's a great idea to do with the extras. Okay, we're going to put these aside, and now we're going to die cut out our Grateful. Now to make it easier, I'm going to be using some double-sided adhesive on the back side of my cardstock. All I have to do is remove the release paper when I cut out my sentiment. And then while we're die cutting, I'm going to be bringing in the Birthday Circles die set, and I want to create a tag for my card. I am going to die cut out the circle here along with the tag with white. And I will be right back. Okay, I did my die cutting, and since we have some stripes on our tag, what I'm going to do is add my Grateful sentiment to some white cardstock, and we're going to create a shadow behind it. This way it doesn't compete with the stripes that are in my tag. Okay, I think that looks wonderful. We have a little bit of a shadow behind here. This way it's not going to compete with that. Now behind, I want my stripes to be blue. So I have some teal colored cardstock. We're going to flip over our tag, and we're going to add that behind. Actually, before we do that, let's add a brad to the top of it. I'm going to use my crocodile. That way we have a little bit of texture. I'll flip this around, and then we can add some tape behind here. And then we can add our blue cardstock. I just trimmed it down so it would fit behind my tag. Then I'm going to take my circle that we die cut out. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive behind here and center it. Oh, that's the wrong circle. I knew I die cut out one with the circle die. So let's add adhesive behind here. Okay, so I adhered my circle on the inside, so we have a little bit of a border there. We're going to put this off to the side, and then now I'm going to use I'm going to thread my tag. We're going to use some twine here, and I'm going to double it up. So I'm going to double it up and just thread it through the top of my tag. And I think that looks great. I'm going to put this off to the side, and then we're going to take our card base. We're going to add adhesive behind our background panel. Bring those in, and then we will adhere this. You can see it's not quite 1/4 of an inch that I trimmed off. I just wanted a little bit of that white showing around the edges. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive. I did add fun foam behind my tag, and we'll place this in the center of our card here. I'm going to go ahead and tie the bow of my twine. I'm going to place this. I like it at an angle. I think the swirl of the T is kind of following the curve of the circle, so that's what I like. And then we'll add some foam adhesive behind our smaller and our large sunflower. For finishing touches, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to take my memento marker, and then we're going to add some little dots to all of the centers of our sunflowers. To me, this is going to just add a lot of detail. It's going to make my sunflowers look like there's seeds in there. I love the way this looks. You can see all the little seeds we added. Now we are going to embellish our card with our platinum gems. And these are on the gray tone, but I think I can get away with it because of the iridescent hue to these. I think it's a beautiful marbly look, and I think it's going to go perfect with our sunflowers. There's 3 different sizes, which I like also. Those are such a pretty gray. These pearls again are called platinum. I just think are fabulous. Okay, last but not least, now that we have our platinum pearls adhered, we are going to finish it off with some glossy accents. And I'm just going to go over the 2 flowers that's on our tag. This is going to dry clear, and it's going to give those sunflowers some dimension. Okay, and then that will finish my card today. I love the Layered Sunflower Stencil Set. I think it's super pretty, and I hope you get a chance to head on over to join us for a fabulous, it's actually a 3-day long Instagram hop. Today is day 1, and there's a giveaway each day. So head on over tomorrow and the next day too if you get a chance, and check out the brand new September release over at Pretty Pink Posh Shop. And I'll leave all the details in the entire release downstairs down below in case you guys want to check it out on your own. And have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.